Rambling Man here. Have y'all heard about, I'm sure you have, but have you heard about all the stuff going on with the border with the guys on horseback, the Border Patrol agents on horseback that are alleged to have beaten the Haitians with whips? I mean, that's what they're saying just off of pictures. Now, here's the thing. You have all these people, like you have Alejandro Mayorkas, right? He goes down there on Monday, and they were asking about them with whips. He goes, they're not issued whips, and we'll do a full investigation, but we're not going to jump to conclusions and say that that's what happened because they're just long reins that they have. Then he goes back, and I guess after pressure from the Biden administration, he says that it's just horrible what's happened, but they hadn't even had an investigation or anything about it. But he'd already said, one, while he's at the border, they're not going to jump to conclusions. Then he gets up there and while talking at the White House, and up there in Washington, says that, we're dealing with this and that it's horrible that's what's happening. Now, I want you to go on and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you share, like, and comment. And let me know what you think here, because here's what's funny. You have the Border Patrol have talked about with their long reins that are on horseback. Now, remember, these are all city folk, too. You're talking about a bunch of people from the city that know nothing about horses or how to handle them or even how that works, right? So, with that being the case, they go through and they're trained. They said they're trained to use their reins to keep people away from the horses, which makes sense. Especially you don't want someone taking over you, over your horse and that kind of thing, to protect you and protect the horse. Now, with those long reins, there was nothing on there, no video that shows them beating a Haitian. When you're training a dog and you're walking them, you swing the leash in front of them to keep them heeling next to you, so they're not passing you up. It's like a training thing, right? Well, in this regard, they compared all this stuff like to slaves. There's nothing, just because they're black from Haiti does not mean that they are treated like slaves. They're just trying to round them up like everyone else. They're coming across in droves. And why there are a bunch of Haitians coming across from Mexico is part of the problem. There's a bunch of Haitians coming across because they're from all different countries, actually, coming across there because it's open border. And Mayorkas had said it's not an open border. Okay, then please show me what a open border looks like, because if you watch on there, they're just coming across in droves. I mean, in droves. Just like a bunch of people, like you're talking about hundreds of people, all at the same time walking across the river. And the Border Patrol agents are on horseback. There's a bunch of them rounding them up and keeping them, trying to keep them from getting away and just rounding them up. Here's the other part. Then you have a bunch of stupid people. When I say stupid people, like you're dealing with Kamala Harris. She hadn't been anywhere around. The only thing she did was go out there and cheer on Gavin Newsom in California, and then she's just making those little snide remarks here and there. She shows up and cackles. We don't really see her much around right now, and for good reason. I mean, she's an idiot, and so to have her around, it probably shows badly for the Democrats. She said it's just horrific that the things that are being done to humans on the border. Well, I just want to ask her, has she gotten to the root cause yet? Because if you remember, she wants to get to the root cause so we can stop all these people from coming. Do not come. Apparently, no one listened to her say do not come, because we're going to have well over 2 million people here from the Mexico border by year's end. This is stupid. This is downright stupid. It's the worst it's been in 35 years. And there's no sign of it slowing. Biden is doing nothing but he talks trash about the border, but doesn't do anything about the border. There was no mention of the border when he's talking to the foreign to all the foreign, the United Nations and everything. None of that. No, he's focused on Afghanistan, which is another thing. We'll get into that some other time, because there's people still trapped over there and there's nothing being done for them. So you have all these people in Del Rio, Texas, 12,000 and counting now, and the FAA has limited flights around there and drones because they said it interferes with flights going out from the Border Patrol. Okay, really what it does, it limits the amount of coverage it gets. The media is pushing all this stuff about whips and slavery and making it a race thing, when you have people that are black men talking on the news saying this is stupid to call it something racist. Why does everything have to be racist? They point it out as racist so they can push their narrative, which is all false. If you think I'm wrong, tell me why. But here's the thing. We're dealing with a border, and every single thing in this country turns into something is racist. Always. How is it that the border is racist now? Because the Haitians happen to be black? If they weren't coming over, there would be nothing about racism. But if you see those guys running around, they'd have Mexicans and like, oh, they're against the Mexicans. No, they're coming from Mexico. That's why they're Mexicans. But we have all these different countries coming across. Nothing's being done about our border. And still, people are going to complain and make it sound like it's something that it's not. Because instead of addressing the problem, we're going to make another problem that does not exist. So Biden and Kamala, neither one of you are dealing with the border situation. You can't sit there and look at a picture and think and say, look how bad things are, when you're looking at a picture of a man on a horse next to a Haitian. You're not there. Mayorkas says one thing when he's down the border. When he leaves the border, then he changes his mind. It's a double-edged sword, because you're going to get one thing from the left, and then they turn around and cut you with the other side. Non-stop. This is crap. If you're not seeing it, they need to take care of the border. You had the lowest morale. You have people leaving the Border Patrol. They can't do their jobs, and the administration is doing nothing to help them. It's sad. It really is sad. I don't know what else to say other than there needs to be some kind of change take place in this country, because the Biden administration is doing nothing other than talk. And the talk isn't even good anymore. It's crap. If you believe anything that he's saying, you lost your mind. I think he has a 31% approval rating when it comes to the border. So at some point, his approval rating is just going through, it's just tanking. And if you're like, what approval rating? Then you're not looking. Look around. The best one was 50% one day, and I think that was one that was completely biased, and that was 2 weeks ago. It's much lower than that now. So good luck out there, guys. Let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts, and make sure you share this video. All right, Randall Man, out.